Hello and welcome back to the shop here. Today we're going to be working on a Husqvarna 455 Rancher. This saw will not start. It's set for a couple of years. It's probably had fuel in the tank. We've already done our diagnostics to it. I won't bore you by walking through that. If you watched very many of my videos, you know when I start working on something, I'm looking at, do I have compression? Do I have fire? Am I getting any fuel? Usually by the time you get through checking those three things, you're going to know which direction you need to go in. So I've already done my compression test. It's really good. About 150 psi. That's just really good. I would think anything over 95 or 100 would probably be acceptable. You get down around that 90 and below, you know, I'm starting to question whether it's worth fixing or not. We've already done our ignition test. It's got a really good spark, so we're not going to do that again. There's a little bit of fuel down the intake, and it cranked up and burnt that fuel out and died. So, you know, we've isolated the problem down to our fuel system. All of our lines are hooked up right. None of the lines are broken or leaking. So pretty sure the problem's going to be in the carburetor. So we're going to pull this carburetor off, clean it out, kit it, put it back on. That's kind of the plan right now. Unless we see something while we're in the middle of that changes our mind, we should be okay with just getting the carburetor. If any of the lines look bad, we may replace them, but we'll just kind of check that as we go. So let's go ahead and get with it. Let's pull this carburetor off. Okay, our carburetor is a Walbro, and on the side, you probably can't see it, but it's a WTA carburetor. WTA 29A is what it looks like. Now your Husqvarna could have a different carburetor on it. May take a different kit.
I'm going to go ahead and move this off out of the way.
I don't want to tear this carburetor down with it dirty like this. I don't want to take a chance of getting any dirt inside of it, so we're going to go wash this off. Alright, this carburetor's got two sides. The fuel comes in here on the fuel pump side. The fuel pump side has one screw. On this back side is the metering side. Got four screws.
I'm going to go ahead and pull this line off here because we're going to put a new piece of line on here. We're not going to leave that one.
The fuel comes in on the fuel pump side. This nipple over here on the metering side is for your primer. This line here, down here by the fuel pump, is your main fuel line with the fuel filter on it. This other nipple up here goes to your primer. When you work your primer, it pushes fuel back into the tank and pulls it through the carburetor. So your primer doesn't actually push fuel to the carburetor, it pushes it back in the tank, causing the carburetor to draw fuel up the main fuel line. Alrighty, here's our fuel pump diaphragm. It's kind of blue. It looks like it's stretched out pretty good. Like a secondary fuel filter in the carburetor. We'll go ahead and pop it out. I think you can see some dirt there in it. It's dirty. So we're going to put a new one of them, and we'll also put a new fuel filter in it. There's dirt down in that carburetor right there too. So now we'll pull this other side off, this metering side. It looks really stiff. It's supposed to be soft. We're going to blow this off here. I'm going to pour some seafoam on it, let it soak a little bit. I got this little piece of pipe here. It makes just a good stand for a carburetor. Okay, this metering area looks fairly clean. I am going to pour some seafoam in here and let it soak. That's why I left my needle and lever in place, because that way it will let the seafoam kind of set there and soak, and then when we get our kit we'll pull that out. Alright, here's some seafoam. Just going to pour a little on there like that and let it soak while I'm going after my kit. So I'll be back in a little bit. This carburetor takes a K20 WTA. Yours could take something different. Be sure and check. You just want to be careful with this little spring here. This particular Walboro kit does not come with a new spring. If you lose that spring, that's a problem. The kit comes with some extra parts. You're not going to use everything in the kit. It covers a couple different carburetors. I'm going to build up my fuel pump side first. I just like to do that. I just feel like it keeps my carburetor clean. You want to gently push this little screen down in that hole. It's got a little shoulder that it sets in. You just want to be real gentle and get it in there. This is our fuel pump diaphragm that I'm putting on here. Let's see, we got us a new fuel pump gasket that we're going to put on here. On the pump side, the diaphragm goes first, then the gasket. After you put the gasket on there, then the cover goes on there. We got one screw in the center of this one. This carburetor kit comes with two needles, a small one and a big one. Our carburetor takes the small one. It does not come with this little spring, so we have to use our old spring. It comes with a new lever and pin. So we get our new lever and pin here and get it ready. Put it on the spring, then hook it in the needle. Get your rod in place. Hold it down with your thumb. Get your little screw ready that holds it all down. Make sure everything looks good before you torque it down good. It all looks good, so we're going to go ahead and torque it down nice and tight. Make sure it works okay. Everything looks good. Now you don't have to have this little tool to check this carburetor. Check the height of this lever that I'm checking here. The lever just comes up even with the bottom of the carburetor there. So I mean, that's what that tool is showing, that the lever just comes up level with the bottom of the carburetor. You can take any type of a flat edge and just hold it down on the base of that carburetor. It's right at the floor of the carburetor. It's even. I don't know if you can see that or not, but the correct way on this lever is it's pretty much square with the bottom floor of the carburetor. On this metering side, the gasket goes first, then the diaphragm. then this cover. Then we'll get all the screws started.
Get all of our screws started. We're going to tighten all of our screws down together, pull them down nice and even. When we get them all pulled down nice and even, we'll go ahead and tighten them down.
Okay, there's our carburetor. We got it back together, ready to go. We got our adjustments over here. These limiter caps just keeps you from getting it too far out of whack. Probably won't need to move them very much because the problem with this carburetor was this diaphragm just not metered the fuel properly. So we may not even have to touch these screws. A lot of times you don't, unless somebody's been tampering with them. Okay, we got our saw back here. We got our carburetor kitted. So let's start putting this thing together. Start going back the same way we came off with it. Remember, we got our main fuel line over here on this side that comes in. Then we got the line over here that goes to the primer.
So we did put a new fuel filter in it. So hook our primer lines back up in here. Alright, we got our primer lines hooked up, we got our main fuel line throttle back in place. Now we're going to put our choke, we're going to hook our choke back up here. Alright, we got our carburetor room, our little choke room here, we're going to start putting the screws back in. Alright, we got our throttle linkage in place, looks like it's working good. Okay, now we just put a new fuel filter in, so we're going to go ahead and add some fuel to it.
Primer appears to be moving fuel pretty good. So let's just go ahead and hit this starter and see what happens. Well, you can see it cranked right up, runs pretty good. We'll get the bar and chain back on it and put it all back together. Go out and tweak it a little bit, and it'll be ready to cut wood. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it saves you some money. Be sure and check out my website for more repair videos, do-it-yourself projects around the farm, home, and garden.